All right, class. So we're going to look at just a few of these questions for tomorrow's quiz. We need to find mean, median, mode, and range for the following. Now, tomorrow's quiz, again, each question will be worth 2 points. You have 4 things you need to answer. Each one is worth half a point. So if you miss one part of it, don't worry. Now, when I want to find mean, I need to find the average of the numbers provided. Now, to find that, I'm going to add all these numbers up together. That would be 3, 8, 1, 17, and 1. So when I add these together, well, right here I get 11 plus 1 more. That's 12 plus 17 is 29. Plus 1 more, I get 30. Okay. Now, my average is going to be all those numbers added up together divided by how many numbers I had to begin with. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 30 divided by 5, 6. So my mean will be 6. Let me fix that 6 right there. Now, median, let me fix this right here. Sorry, that looks kind of ugly, I guess. Well, I'm writing with my finger. Median. That's the number in the middle after I've put all these numbers in numerical order, meaning I put them from least to greatest. So I put 1. Now I have 2 1s. I have to put 1 again. 3, 8, 17. Now, one way you can do this to figure it out is you can look and say, okay, well, there's 5 numbers, so the one in the middle would be the third one. Or we can say I cross 1 out here, 1 on the other side. Cross 1 out here, 1 on the other side. Now I'm left with one number in the middle, 3. So my median would be 3. Now we're going to look at what happens when I have an even set of numbers, or what happens if I have 2 numbers left over after I'm done crossing everything out. That'll be the next problem that we look at. Now, my mode would be what number repeats the most. Now, in this problem, I have 3, 8, 1, 17, and 1. The only number that repeats is 1, so that's going to be my mode. Okay. Now, if we look, all these have numbers that repeat. If you had, say, 3, 7, 2, 5, 8, and 20, none of them repeat, so you would have no mode. Okay. Let's say you had something like this: 3, 3, 7, 2, and 7. Well, since these repeat and these repeat, there's a tie, you could say, and there can't be a tie. There has to be one number that happens more than the others, so since those repeat the same amount of time, there's no mode again. Okay. Now let's go back to problem number 1. I need my range now. My range, well, let's put them in order again. 1, 1, 3, 8, and 17. Now it might be easy for you to look and say, okay, I know which one my smallest number is and my greatest number. What you're going to do is take the biggest number, the greatest number, and subtract the smallest number from it. So I would get 16. Okay. Now you're going to do the same thing for problems 2, 3, and 4. And tomorrow's quiz will probably have the same amount of numbers. I mean, the same amount of problems. But let's look at number 3 for median. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits, 6 different numbers. So let's put them in order. 8, 10, 10 again, 10 again, 12, and 30. Okay. So let me see. 8, 10, 10, 10, 12, and 30. So cross this out, cross this out. Now I can't cross this out because that means I would have to cross this one out. So I need to stop myself and say, okay, well, what am I left with? Right here I have 2 10s. Well, my median is going to be 10. But to be sure, what I do is let's add these together, and I get 20. And then I divide by 2 because I added 2 numbers and I'm going to divide them by 2. Well, on this one I come back to 10. There'll be times where you'll end up with a fraction or a decimal, and that's okay. You need to put it in decimal form or fraction form. Okay. Now, the rest I'm not going to work through them. Just remember, put them in order. One quick tip right here, you have a negative. Well, that's going to be your first number, followed by 1 and 2 and 2 and so on. Okay. Remember, negative is smaller. You're going farther left on the number line. Okay. Now, look at these. We're talking about probability. You have a six-sided die, or you have a pair of dice. Well, one of them is called a die. And you want to roll an odd number. What are your chances? Well, remember, we need to figure out how many total sides are there to this die. 6. Everyone, I'm sure, has held a regular die. A six-sided dice, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, if I want to roll odd numbers, I think, okay, what are the sides to a die? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. My odds are 1, 3, and 5. So, 3 out of 6, which can be simplified down to 1/2. Now, this question, I wanted you to do it in class. There are 27 students in your classroom. What is the probability of choosing a girl randomly? Well, it doesn't say which specific girl. Now, if there's 27 girls, and I tell you pick, say Susan, then it would be 1 out of 27. But what we needed to do was count how many girls were there total. Now, I'll pick one of my classes I remember the number from. There was 15. So your answer would have been 15 out of 27 for number 6. So I'll put that right here, like a fraction, which could be simplified down to 5/9. Okay. Last one. The following colored marbles are placed in a green bag. Now, what you could do to help you is write it like this: green, green, blue, red, orange, say BL. You know what? Black, sorry. It's going to make it a little difficult. Green, black again, yellow, yellow. Sorry. I meant to put Y. Now I was getting used to writing the whole word out. Yellow, black, and then green. That's one way. I've seen some people do that. Now, another way, you could even make like a little chart. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, I see green, blue, black, red, orange, and yellow. So I could say green, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. For blue, I see 1. For black, I see 1, 2, 3. So you could use this to track what is there, because this question does have a few items to it. Red, I see 1. Orange, I see 1. And yellow, I see 1, 2. Now, what was my question? What is the probability of pulling out a green one? Well, I already have these numbers set up, so 4 plus 1 right here, that's 5, plus 3 is 8, 9, 10, 12. 4 out of 12. Or, if I want to simplify it, now I can clean this up. Wish I had more room, but that's okay. This can also simplify to 1 out of 3. Okay. Meaning that within the first 3 tries, I should be able to pull out a green marble. Theoretically speaking, meaning it should happen, most likely will, but as we mentioned in class, let's say you're flipping coins. How many times have you flipped heads, 3, 4 times in a row, maybe even 5 times in a row? It can happen. Theoretically speaking, you should be able to land on each one after 2 flips. And same thing here. After 3 tries, I should pull out a green one. Could I pull out a yellow, and then another yellow, and then finally a third yellow? Sure. Would it always be, say, the red one? It would be difficult because there's only one of them there, but it could happen. And that's what we're saying when we talk about being theoretical probability. What are the chances of it happening? and also in theory, that's how it should work. Okay, so we talked about those things in class. Make sure you review this and look at your notes, and tomorrow's quiz should be easy.